Good morning. Biscuits. This is what you need. Flour. 1 cup. Baking flour. Baking flour. Heavy whipping cream. About 1/2 cup. Bacon grease. Spatula. Some measuring cups. Mixing bowl. And a cast iron skillet. Preheat your oven to about 450. And throw some bacon grease in your cast iron. Let that melt down while you're doing other things. Medium heat. Stir our flour. And get that in there, along with your 1/2 cup of cream. So 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of cream. Got a dog. Alright, we're gonna mix that together until it forms dough, and then we're gonna roll it out flat, fold it a bunch of times. Okay, so if you end up needing a little bit more cream, just add a bit at a time. Mix it in, you're kind of looking for a shaggy dough. So once everything kind of starts coming together eventually, then you can roll it out and get it together. Flour our surface just a bit. Dough's kind of come together a little bit better, and that's where it's like a homogeneous blob that'll stick together. Get the rest of this out of here.
I can help.
I appreciate that you can help. Alright. So, once we start getting this all together, we're just gonna flatten it out as small as we can and start folding it as you get pieces together. And the folding and kneading it out kind of does a couple things. You end up creating the kind of gluten layers that you want so that your biscuit is not just a crumby cracker. It's kind of got a little bit of a chew to it, and it also creates those cool layers that everybody likes in their canned biscuits, but you can get those without doing cans. Ollie, baby, would you get me
the chopper thing.
the cutter? Yeah.
Looks like that.
Perfect, thank you.
Do you think you could also use like possibly like a mason jar?
You could probably use just about anything that would do this. I would give you a bit of advice, and
Mason jar would?
and whatever you use, end up get a little bit of flour on it so that things don't stick to this pan. All right.
Yeah.
So here in a minute, we'll cut these out. It's pretty simple. You want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I start with the corners of it.
And then give it a little twist. So that,
yeah.
there you go.
The twist.
And you need to twist the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah. It's
More
kind of
of a
hard
wiggle.
with this
Yeah.
thing.
And then we'll set those aside for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, once you cut a few out, just fold things back out, get it all back together. I wouldn't wad it up, just try to fold it as best you can. And get your other biscuits out. And then do the same thing again.
How many do we need, babe?
About 6 or 7. If you're lucky, looks like I'm only gonna be able to get about 5 here, so that's all right. This will get you enough so that there's plenty of room in your skillet. This one is just gonna be a bit of a folded up wad. I don't know why my assistant here just keeps sprinkling flour on everything. Yeah, you need to do it
It
yourself.
feels so funny. It feels funny. So
And then this little puff here is going to go in the middle somewhere. Something like that. Get all these in our nice hot cast iron with that bacon grease in it. And then we'll put this in our oven. It's got bacon frying in it right now. And we'll be back in a minute. While that's baking for about 10 to 12 minutes, if you want to, you can melt some butter to brush on top. I suggest that. If you do decide to melt some butter and brush it on, make sure you do it at a really low power. Otherwise, your butter will just turn into a horribly awful mess. All right, so once your biscuits have started to brown, kind of look like this, then we need to start thinking about buttering them. According to this, there's a few minutes left, so we'll get that buttering done and we'll stick them back in. Make sure you have one of these things too if you're using your skillet, because that handle's going to be nice and toasty. We don't want any skin grafts today. You can see they've risen quite a bit. They look pretty good. It's probably perfectly edible right now, but butter makes everything better, right? Isn't that what Paula Deen preaches?
Amen.
The best thing about this is once you get done too, you've got a skillet already buttered up and ready to go for frying your eggs or whatever else you got going on. Get a little bit more of this. And we'll stick these guys back in for their last couple minutes. All right. Don't grab the handle. Use a holder. Okay, so it looks to me like they're about ready. Get them out. Set them out there. You know, I'm gonna leave this on here because I'm gonna grab this sure as the world. Okay, so we'll let them cool down a little bit, and then we'll pop them open and let you see what they look like.
Nice.
All right. So now that that's done, we can check out our biscuits. You can see they've about tripled in size, but since we kind of folded them, we get kind of the same layer effect. And from here, we can do two things with them. We can butter them up to do both sides because I'm a glutton. And you can get some strawberry preserves or whatever your poison is. Apple butter's good. Honey. Some people really like honey. I don't like to go too overboard with the stuff because I think the biscuits are really good all by themselves, but some people like to have more jelly than they do.
I don't know who in the world you could be talking about.
Yep. That's about it.
All right.
Well,